surprised how determined I've been through good times and bad times. My fight will never end. We've achieved everything, and to be able to share, especially in Vancouver, this moment with them is going to be incredible. Come full circle, and to be able to finish my career in that stadium in front of all my friends and family, hopefully it's going to be quite the night.
One more game in the calendar year for the Canadian women, and they say goodbye to 2023 with a match against Australia. But the real farewell is to one of the best this country has ever seen. Tonight, Christine Sinclair dons the maple leaf for the last time. BC Place has been renamed in her honor for the occasion. Over 45,000 fans will be in attendance, with many more watching at home. It's time to say thank you to the player we affectionately call Sinky. Hello, Canada, and welcome inside our One Soccer studio. You're watching Matchday live, presented by CIBC. Andy Petrillo alongside Jordan Wilson, Jess Lisi. Tonight is a celebration, everybody. It is a celebration of Christine Sinclair, a soccer player from Burnaby, BC, who stole the hearts of a nation. And from 16 years old to 40, she represented this country at 4 Olympics, 6 World Cups, and many more competitions in between. She is the all-time international goal scorer at 190. So you know what that means? That means we get to have the legacy chat. So here we go. We're starting the show off with that. Jess, what will you remember the most about Christine Sinclair?
You know, for me, Christine Sinclair will forever be the woman that, inspired a nation. She was the first to ignite that flame in the soccer community within Canada. And she also was a huge role model to not only young girls. For myself, she was definitely a role model growing up, but I think for young athletes as a whole, and I think we'll see a lot of this next gen really inspired by her. She made me feel seen as a kid. I knew that my goals weren't crazy to want to be a professional soccer player as a woman, or to maybe lead in goals as she has. So she definitely is somebody that I'm grateful that I got to watch her greatness unfold in front of me, and I will forever be grateful.
Yeah, how many camps did you have with her? Do you know off the top, or?
Honestly, I never had a camp with her, but I did meet her. She came into one of our camps.
There you go.
She was great, by the way.
Yeah, you played at the youth level, so she came on in. So you see all the players right now on the pitch. They're just enjoying the moment, which is absolutely wonderful. It is worth noting that Sophie Schmidt, Erin McLeod will also be honored here tonight. Christine Sinclair, and all the interviews that she's been doing, has made a point of mentioning the team. So it doesn't surprise me that she wants to be honored alongside 2 of her teammates who she has done battle with in many tournaments alongside them. I'll come to you now, Jordan. What are you going to remember?
I'm going to remember the fact that Christine Sinclair, when she plays a game of soccer, she gets lost in it. And I look at a lot of players when they play, and you think about what you're doing. If you look at Sinclair and look at the 190 goals she scored, a lot of them, when she's celebrating, there's that look in her eye. And everyone who's watched her and has seen her score knows that look. She almost blacks out, right? She forgets where she is. She's really just consumed by where she's at, and I'm gonna miss that competitor. Because there's a lot of players that play the game, there's a lot of players that are good at it, that are talented. But to lose yourself in the game the way Christine Sinclair has done for over 2 decades now, I don't think we'll see that again. And I think she just alluded to it, but the way that she played, the ferociousness that she went about her business, I'll miss that for sure.
You know what's awesome when you've been around for a really long time? We get to see a lot of photos of you from the beginning all the way through. And I think Christine's just loving that the most, isn't she? I'm going to say 1 year. And I know for a fact, I'm willing to put money on it, that Carmelina Moscato, who's coming up shortly on the show, will give more context to it, because she was actually in the room with her. But I'm just going to say this. 2012 semifinal Olympics, Canada, USA, and I'm pretty sure Carm's going to fill in the blank there, because that, to me, was the massive coming out party for Christine Sinclair to this country. Let's head pitch side now. Oliver Platt had a chance to catch up with Bev Priestman.
Bev, as we prepare to watch her for the last time here, can you describe what it's been like to coach Christine Sinclair for Canada?
It's been an absolute honour, and I reflected today, I'm that coach that gets to do the final pre-match meeting. It's been an absolute honour. I'm a better coach for it. It's been emotional, definitely, in the last few days, but I'm absolutely so excited to see this team do her proud, hopefully, tonight, and the send-off that this country has put on to travel across the country to come and watch her take a last kick for Canada.
What are you expecting from the performance tonight to send her off in the right way?
Today we spoke about the values that both Sophie and Christine have instilled, what makes them who they are, you know, doing their role to their very last kick, they'll do that. The work they've put in to turn up at your fit, right till the last kick, and so I think some of them values are part of the DNA of the team, hard working, and will do whatever it takes to back their teammates up. So tonight we're here to win, you know, that is what we're trying to do, to send these off in the way that they want, which is on the pitch and off the pitch, and obviously to continue our journey whilst balancing what tonight is.
Thank you, Bev. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Well, I'm sure the buzz is starting to build a little bit more inside Christine Sinclair Place as we go pitch side with Oliver Platt, who was just doing that interview earlier with Bev Priestman, and Carmelina Moscato. Let's do some more storytelling, shall we?
Let's do some more storytelling. Good idea, Andy. It's going to be a special night in here. It's starting to fill up already. It's been a special week, really. Hearing stories told, reflecting on the career of Christine Sinclair from her teammates, her former teammates, and from Christine herself as well. Let's go right back to the beginning with you and Christine and your story together. What do you remember in terms of the earliest memories you have of her as a Canada player?
Yeah, my mind goes straight into the U19 tournament. It was the first ever youth tournament by FIFA in 2002. And I remember that platform for Sinclair and for us, all of us as little, aspiring national team players. It gave us a platform to express, but she expressed something that nobody had ever seen. I think there was something about her in that tournament that galvanized the nation, even in 2002. There were 47,000 people in those stands, and tonight there's thereabouts right now, so it's a full circle moment. And I remember her coming onto the pitch, walking away from that tournament with her first silverware and hardware, the golden boot, the golden ball, and put Canada on the map. And even though we didn't get a gold medal in that tournament, we got a silver. I think everybody knew her name right from that moment on.
It was the first of many moments where she really got this team and herself in the nation's consciousness. You go on to play together for over a decade, so many great moments to choose from, but if there's one that you're going to look back on as the defining moment in terms of your time with Christine Sinclair, what would it be?
Yeah, it was, I have to talk about the 2012, Andy, you referred to it, the 2012 semifinal match in the Olympic Games. We went into that match knowing that we had basically zero chance of winning that game against the States. The odds were saying it wasn't for us. And we had known that we had to go and take it. We had to go and take that performance. But she took it to another level, scoring a hat trick in that match. It had never been done against the States. And I remember goal after goal after goal. She provided us so much hope. And when we ended up losing that match, I think the most powerful moment was not only her on-field experience, but it was in the locker room. A crushed and broken team. We had come so close to a gold medal match. She had put the performance of her life. And she was the most heartbroken and galvanized us in the locker room and said, we're going for that bronze. And we did that, and we did that for her.
There's going to be 47,000 people in here to pay tribute to her tonight. Sinclair starts, Sophie Schmidt obviously on the bench playing her final game for Canada as well. When you look at tonight and the crowd in a stadium like this and the kind of occasion it's going to be, what does that represent to you in terms of Sinclair's legacy?
Progress, hope. It represents, this does not exist without them. McLeod, Schmidt, Sinclair. I mean, these players have been doing it. The fact that somebody can do something at that level for 23 years, adapting, making herself relevant, making herself important, making herself irreplaceable. I think everyone is here to watch a person of that magnitude, and we all have the responsibility to carry on the torch.
Let's start with hopefully 191, 192 today. That would be a nice way to send her off.
Right.
We'll go back to you in the studio, Andy.
Ollie, you're putting on the pressure. Not just one, you want a brace. That's what you want to see. Hey, you know what? I'll take it too.
Maybe
we all want to see
hat-trick.
that. Yeah, why not a hat trick while we're at it too? As Canada faces Australia here in Christine Sinclair's final match. By the way, I can listen to Carm tell stories all night long. Join us weeknight, 7 p.m. ET on the channel for One Soccer Today, where we talk the big news in Canadian soccer, from the CPL to the national teams and much more. That begins 7 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday. Well, tonight we're sharing stories about number 12 as she retires from the national team. Here's goalkeeper Kaylin Sheridan.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit different. I think the final day has been looming around us the whole time, and we're excited to give them everything that they deserve. Soph and Sink deserve a full crowd at their home stadium. The only reason that we are able to get this many fans is because of what they've created here. but we're not looking forward to saying goodbye to them. I think it's been a bittersweet moment. None of us really know what Canada soccer looks like without Sink and Soph, so this is going to be a hard moment, but also an incredible celebration of two incredible Canadians.
We created Carlsberg 0-0 because even the best things can be better with alcohol-free beer. Clean one-handed backhand is better. Balancing stuff is better. Whatever this is better. We created Carlsberg. Skipping your own ad is better. Parking in space, better. So, can the best alcohol-free beer make good things better? Probably.
Degree 72-hour non-stop protection. Antiperspirant with motion sense. Tested to the limit. Degree keeps working when others stop.
Sinclair wide open. Is this it? It is! Sinclair has done it! The Queen of the North!
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that I've spent a lot of time, honestly, thinking about. I couldn't tell you how many caps I have, honestly. I think it's when I'm done playing and have a chance to like look back. And I'm sure the game in Vancouver will make me reminisce a lot as well. But yeah, just sitting here, I'm proud of what I've done for Canada. I'm proud of like my work ethic. I'm proud of like how like determined I've been through good times and bad times, and to have been a part of this journey for so long. And with it, you know, I've had some absolutely incredible teammates to help me along the way, and I've been fortunate in my career, that, you know, injuries and things like that, that we've gotten to where we're at. Yeah, but when I'm done, I'm sure I'll look back on it and be like, okay, you've achieved some incredible things.
Christine Sinclair is now the all-time leading scorer in international soccer.
After Tokyo, I knew deep down in my heart, like, Paris wasn't my goal. To be able to leave as an Olympic champion, not many people get to do that. But I wanted to give the World Cup another shot. It was like the one thing that, as a team, we hadn't really nailed. And obviously, yeah, that didn't go as we had hoped. And then Olympic qualifiers were right around the corner, and I wanted to be a part of that, just to help the team get to Paris. And honestly, after the game in Toronto, I thought that was it. And then we were told that we were going to have 4 games in Canada, and I was convinced by staff, teammates, friends, family to stick around and get the proper send-off. So yeah, now we're here. Even leading into this camp, like, yes, there's a part that's like, I remember packing, and I'm like, oh, I'm packing for my last national team camp. Like, kind of like, I can't believe we're here. But then once we got here, it's how do we beat Australia twice, and helping the team prepare for that, knowing what's coming, you know, but at this point it's about winning some soccer games too. I have a weird memory when it comes to like soccer games and events and what I lived. Yeah, I remember Evan. I remember sitting with him, and my first camp was in Vancouver, and he told me that you performed well, and we're going to invite you to come to the Algarve with the national team. And I was just completely overwhelmed. Didn't think I belonged. And then he's like, "And by the way, you're starting." Yeah, I mean, it's been quite the ride. And Evan, I give a lot of credit to him. He changed his program and gave a lot of youngsters, myself included, a chance that I don't think many other national team coaches would have. I'm thankful for him. And then I remember obviously scoring in my second game, and then I scored a few more in that tournament. I'm not gonna lie, in that moment I found out how many goals Mia Hamm had at the time, and kind of set I never set the goal, but it was just kind of there. I'm like, wow, I've played 4 caps and scored 3 goals. This is pretty, like, just an awareness piece. It was, weird. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I plan to play another year in Portland, but yeah, my fight will never end. Whether that's helping behind the scenes, the player reps, and fighting for equality, and Project 8, fighting for a league. Yeah, I'm not going away anytime soon. Sitting here right now, I worry about just the investment that other countries have put into whether it's domestic leagues, whether it's their women's national team programs. And I think you saw in Australia some surprises, but I think it just goes to show countries are investing, that the domestic leagues work and develop players and give players an opportunity to play professionally at a young age, that right now here in Canada we don't have. But for the most part, the pathways to go to college in the US, and honestly, it's not cutting anymore. But I'm hopeful, because I know there's people in this country that are fighting for the right things. Yeah, there's always reminiscing going around, because the youngsters on the team can't believe some of the stuff we had to live through. But I'm sure after the game in Vancouver, once we've all had a couple glasses of wine, someone should be in there filming, I'm just saying. I look around and I see players at every position playing at top clubs, whether it's in Europe or the US, or even those that are in college that are bound to go to a top club somewhere in the world. And this team's ready. It's deeper than it's ever been. It's got an excellent, I think, mixture of youth and experience, and even the young players. I still think Jessie and Janine are young, but they've been around forever and have World Cups and Olympics under their belts. Yeah, the future's in great hands, and they'll be absolutely fine. I've made some of my best friends on this team, and those connections will last well beyond all of us playing soccer. And I don't know how many national teams can truly say that. I think a lot say it. But yeah, I know some of these players will be my best friends for life. And then you spend enough time around these people, you're bound to become, no, it's just, yeah. A group of highly motivated, determined workaholics that are willing to give anything for the country. And this is what's happened.
Do you think you'll miss it?
I think I'll miss parts of it. I'm so looking forward to a vacation. But I think obviously the competitor in me will miss the competition, and there's just something different about playing for your country and playing club. And then it's going to be the moments that people don't see, your meals, trips to coffee shops, things like that, where you truly get to know people. And yeah, I mean, we literally have a blast here. Honestly, I don't even know what to think, especially because like some of my earliest soccer memories are playing at BC Place as a youngster. We used to have mini soccer tournaments there every winter. So yeah, to come full circle and to be able to finish my career in that stadium in front of all my friends and family, hopefully it's going to be quite the night.
Toyota's electrified vehicles are for everyone. Every chauffeur, snack connoisseur, every scenery soaker, practical joker, every road tripper, toe dipper, every 9-to-5er, every long driver. Starting over 20 years ago with the Prius, we now have the largest lineup of electrified vehicles in Canada, because this journey belongs to everyone.
Over, brilliant! What a strike! Again I say, who else?
Here's some trivia for you. On what day did Christine Sinclair become the all-time leading goal scorer? January 29, 2020 in Texas. She sealed her legacy as the world's greatest goal scorer, delivering goal number 185 in an Olympic qualifier versus St. Kitts and Nevis. No player, man or woman, has tallied more times for their country than Sinclair, who enters tonight's match with a record 190 international goals all time. When she hit 185, she passed the American Abby Wambach. As we welcome you back inside our One Soccer studio, you continue to watch Matchday Live presented by CIBC. Andy, Jordan, and Jess with you. You knew this conversation was going to come up at some point, right? When you're talking about the GOAT, greatest of all time, when you think of soccer in this country, you are going to think of Christine Sinclair, which of course made us want to know who would be on your Mount Rushmore of athletes. And we're going to go across the board here, not just soccer. And a lot of times these are personal, because if we're going to sit here and say greatest athlete of all time, we're going to get into a fight. We're all going to get into a fight, but we only have spots for 4. So if it means something to you and it's emotional, go for it. Jess, let's hear your Mount Rushmore.
My 4 are Wayne Gretzky, Christine Sinclair, Donovan Bailey, and Clara Hughes.
Okay.
So these are the first 4 people that actually popped into my head when I was asked this question. Of course, like you said, you can go on and look at all these great athletes that have come through Canada, but these were my 4. You know, Wayne Gretzky, I feel like he's on everyone's Mount Rushmore. He is the greatest. He's the great one. You know, the thing with Wayne Gretzky is I feel like no matter what sport you played, as an athlete, you were inspired by him somehow. You know, he was able to inspire people. Even you hear people say you miss 100% of the chances you don't. Oh my God! Wow, this looks not do that.
Yeah, you miss.
100%
There you go.
Shots you don't take. That was great. That was great. Yes. So sorry, I can't mess that one up. But he really was somebody that inspired me, even growing up. You know, Clara Hughes is somebody that. Imagine being so great at more than one thing. to get 6 medals, to go to 2 different Olympics in the sense of, you know, the Winter and the Summer Olympics. That's insane. That's a different beast of an athlete. Christine Sinclair, I mean, we're here talking about her. She's the GOAT, the greatest soccer player of all time. And obviously, coming out of Canada, and obviously for me as a soccer player, I might have some bias there. But she was a huge inspiration for me growing up. So she's definitely on my Mount Rushmore. And Donovan Bailey, I used to love track and field growing up, and I didn't.
I still do.
Yeah, I got all those, you know, those red ribbons. Andy.
Red ribbons, baby.
We got to compare our red ribbons.
You're reminiscing over here, Andy Petrillo.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours. But I grew up. Obviously, I didn't see him become the fastest man in the world and be crowned that. That was in '96. I was born in '98. But he was someone. Yeah, I had to throw that in there.
Oh my.
But he was someone that inspired me. I think. To this day, I look and I'm like, how are you still holding that record for the 50 meter?
Yeah.
He's still, no one has beat him.
No one talks about it.
You know, and I think there's a lot of recognition that needs to be given to someone that was, you know, the first Canadian to be crowned the fastest man in the world. And no one since then. So those were my 4. And yeah.
All special 4. I agree with you. Jordo?
You know, great minds think alike. I found out that Jess and I are twins in many ways because look, I put 5 because I didn't know about the American history, and it's 4, whatever. I'm gonna put 5. I'm cheating.
Did you not count? There's literally 4 heads.
The
1,
reason
2,
why,
3, 4.
Look, all the reasons that you said, Andy. Okay. There's one in the middle up there. My boy, R.I.P., rest in peace, rest his soul. Terry Fox has to make it up there for Mount Rushmore in Canada. 42 kilometers a day for 143 days, and guess what? On one leg. He has to be there. Christine Sinclair might beat Donovan Bailey, but I just can't really put her there yet because in '96, when I was 5 years old, I'm beating my chest saying that I'm Donovan Bailey. You never thought you would say a Canadian sprinter. We're known for hockey. That's what he did. He might be passing her, though, for the 4th spot. He might be. I put 5 there because we'll see tonight. If she can get a 192, 193, I think I'd put her past Donovan.
You know, I have to say, I mean, I love all of your picks, and obviously when they mean something. I am surprised at how similar they are. I'm also equally surprised that you have a speed skater and Claire Hughes up there, normally because you don't really think of speed skating. A lot of people wouldn't pick an athlete from there, but you're right, she's pretty incredible. By the way, when she won that gold in the 5,000 meter 2006, there's this incredible image of her. She's on the ice, stomach down, and you just see her back heaving. She had just recovered from the flu, and she went out and won the 5,000 meter gold. Okay, so I put together mine. I put in a little bit of chronological order here and why this actually kind of matters to me because these were moments in my life that really touched me. Donovan Bailey, I know exactly where I was when I watched him in 1996, cross that line when his eyes bulged out of his head and he screamed and I jumped up. I was at my cousin's house and I was babysitting her dog, Pumpkin. I remember exactly where I was, and that poor dog was so scared to come near me after that when I yelled, Sidney Crosby, I go to the golden goal in 2010. Need I say more about what he's done for the sport of hockey in general as a pro with Pittsburgh and his Stanley Cups, but he's just an incredible human, and I love how he represented Canada. Then I also went Andre DeGrasse because he's following in the footsteps of Donovan Bailey. Didn't win the 100, but the last Olympics was the 200-meter champion. And he's been to 2 Olympics. He's raced 6 times, and he's been on the podium all 6 times.
Yeah.
So to me, that is pretty, special as well. And then, I gave Joe Carter. Here's the thing. Can you just show me that one more time, my Mount Rushmore? Because I feel like I have a little bit of explaining to do, because unlike Jordan, who flat out just put 5, I have an honorable mention. So Marie-Philippe Poulin, I also put her because I was in attendance, the 2014 Sochi Olympics. Her accolades and resume speaks for themselves as well, but when she scored the tying goal and then scored an OT for Canada, she was absolutely amazing. Joe Carter, not Canadian, but how do you not think of Touch 'em All Joe and what he did for Canada? Yes, like the Toronto Blue Jays are the only Canadian team in the MLB in this country. The entire country went berserk. Come on now.
You know what I noticed with looking at this Mount Rushmore? Is that you can't put 4. Can we do a top 10 next time? This was very difficult. This had me up all night.
Yeah.
I was there like, look, there's no way. Steve Nash you can put on there. There's so many players, so many people.
Listen, we could keep going forever and ever and ever. We're going to have a simulcast broadcast when the game going on of just us talking Canadian athletes. Dutch soccer action can be seen right here on One Soccer. Catch PSV Eindhoven versus Heerenveen this Thursday, 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, a player who's been on the pitch alongside Sinclair for many years, longtime teammate Desiree Scott. Here are her thoughts on number 12.
What's great is I'm number 11, so I get to sit right in between both of them with their lockers. Like I just remember our locker room banter, just the pep talks that we've had, the moments after games where we can reflect and just kind of look at where we started and how far we've come. And to do that together on a journey is something truly special. So.
One day, we won't have to work 2 jobs.
One day, we won't have to be players on the field and activists off of it.
One day, I'll see them and know I can be them.
One day, more sponsors will compete to join our roster.
One day, we won't have to leave Canada to play professionally.
But all of these one days are on the line. The future
of women's soccer
is on the line.
If you don't support us today.
These days at your local Legion, we're marching to the beat of a different drum. On a mission to support veterans, to have fun, and to welcome everyone to our ranks. You don't have to be a veteran to join the Legion. And as a member, you'll join thousands of others serving our veterans, our communities, and our country. Oh yeah, and our Member Perks program will save you thousands on shopping, dining, products, and services across the country. Join us at legion.ca.
A new era for Canadian soccer begins today. Experience the emotion of every match. Watch all the highlights, the breaking news, the best debates, and analysis. And all the information about the Canadian stars playing abroad. Get access to the best of Canadian soccer from any device. Join the new dawn of an unstoppable game. See the rise on onesoccer.ca.
From the edge of your seat or up on your feet, let them hear you cheer.
Matchday Live presented by CIBC, and yes, BC Place for the night is CS Place. Christine Sinclair, we saw the players on the pitch as well earlier, enjoying the moment, soaking in the atmosphere, wearing Christine Sinclair hoodies. Fans piling in as well. Let's get you the starting 11 brought to you by GE. Here we go. We expected it. We're seeing it. Christine Sinclair is getting the start. Sophie Schmidt is on the bench. You have to imagine she'll come in at some point as a substitute here. And it looks like the favored 3-4-3, at least in attacking formation, that Bev Priestman has been working with here. It usually goes back down to more of a 4-2-3 afterwards when they're defending. But let's talk about right up top there, Jordo, number 9, Nichelle Prince, who tore her Achilles in November 2022. I think we're all in agreement here that she was still not healthy at the World Cup. Is she back?
She back. She back. She's back. Look, this pace that Nichelle Prince has, she causes havoc. Whichever team she's going to go up against is because you cannot stop that pace. But now, more importantly, Andy, she has that confidence, right? When she's getting in front of goal, she's taking her time. See the 2 goals against Australia just a couple of days ago. Took her time with her left foot, took her time with her right foot, just finding that corner, passing them in. I think she'll get opportunities, Jess. In terms of the way Canada plays, she's just the release valve, to release that pressure. If they play in behind and just suit her, you know Sinclair could find her as well tonight. She's just that player right now that's in that stride, and she's going to be huge for Canada moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a very tenacious attacker. You know, you're seeing her go 100% 100% of the time. And I think...
You got it there.
I did. I got
you
it there.
got
I
it there.
But I think for, you know, the opposition, if I'm a center back, I don't want Nichelle Prince running at me. And to your point, she is playing very confident. She's been putting the ball in the back of the net. It's not just her build-up anymore. You know, so I do think that she's back, absolutely, and I think she's a force.
A brace on Friday against Australia when they played them 5-0, the final score there. So, yeah, the 2 goals would kind of tell you that she's back a little bit. Ashley Lawrence, I feel like this is the conversation that keeps on giving because maybe we're cautiously optimistic and we don't know if Bev is playing with us or if it's for real. And what I'm getting at here is Ashley Lawrence playing more as that right wing back. So she's on the right side playing further up the pitch. Are we confident in saying she is not going to go back to left back under Bev Priestman?
I'm confident. I think that it's silly to switch her. I think that every match Ashley Lawrence plays, there's productivity, down that right side with crosses going in. And I've questioned this Canadian side. How do you want to play? Are you a team that likes to combine in front of the box? Are you going to play route 1 and play in behind? If you're going to be a crossing team, you need crossers. That's what Ashley Lawrence is. She doesn't just put the ball into areas. She finds people. And this is how every game she's able to get an assist because it's not by coincidence. She literally finds someone, she cuts back crosses, she plays it hard and low, she's picking out players. So player on that right side with that natural right foot can just swing the ball across and there's productivity at the end of it.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Do you think then Jade Revere and the way she's been playing on that left side and being able to fall back into that left back role again in a defensive formation, is that what gives you confidence that Ashley, because we know Ashley Lawrence has looked fantastic, but is it the play of Jade Revere that gives you confidence that she can stay there?
Well, you know, I'll do even one better, Andy. It's not even just the Jade Revere. It's Sydney Collins as well in that matchup.
Yeah.
Right? I think the strength of a team is having 2 in 1 position. Now, Ashley Lawrence has been forced sometimes to play left back because she's competent and can do that because there's been injuries. But if Canada remain healthy, you can have and you can flirt with, okay, maybe Collins for today or maybe Revere for today and keep Lawrence just bombing down that right. But that's what Canada's missing. They're usually just like 2-3 players short. If they can keep everyone healthy, then Bev Priestman can flirt with that idea of Collins or Revere, one of them, because I think both of them are confident and competent players down the left-hand side.
Yeah, I agree. I think it depends on what Bev's looking for on that left flank, right? If she wants someone that's left-footed going, bombing up and down that wing, she has Collins. But Jade Revere is also someone that is capable to use her left foot, but she's also great at cutting in, maybe sending that switch ball to a player like Ashley Lawrence, right? So I think that we will see Ashley Lawrence stay on the right side. Just the fact that she's even putting Revere out on that left flank. We've always seen her on the right. So I do think that speaks volumes. I think Ashley Lawrence will stay there, and I mean, rightfully so. She's been doing great.
Good point.
After the game on Friday, which was a 5-0 victory for the Canadians, I mean, they did what they had to do against the competition that was in front of them, but we know that that was not the same team that beat the Canadians at the World Cup. That was the 4-0 game in the group stage game. In fact, 10 of those starters were not in the game on Friday. So we thought, give us some stiffer competition, because just like we're giving our flowers here to Christine Sinclair, it is about preparing for the Olympics. Is this a tougher squad as we look at Australia's starting 11 brought to you by GE?
Yeah, this will be a test tonight for Canada. Catley on the left, she scored against Canada in the World Cup. Fowler's a baller up top. She instantly changed the game in the first leg a few days ago. It was just too far, you know, a bit too late. We're looking at Van Egmond up top, Razo as well on the right-hand side. These are good players for Australia. This is a strong side. So this is going to be a very close game, and Canada also will have to defend well. I think the few matches that they've played, especially the last one against Australia, they didn't have to defend. Center-backs had the ball, and they were able to just play. But tonight, they're going to have to be on their P's and Q's if they really want to get something done.
Yeah, and I think this is expected. Obviously, regardless of it being a friendly or not, no one wants to come out and get smacked 5-0. Not 2 times in a row, not even once. But the fact that that happened, you know, you had to expect a better team to be put out there. So, you know, to your point, you have players like Fowler or Rasso out there. You know these players are going to make a big difference for the Australian side. So I do think Canada will be tested, definitely more so than they were the other night.
Now, and as I mentioned this before on Friday, they were in a really good position to qualify for the Olympics. The Australians haven't done that yet. In February, they play Uzbekistan in a home and away. But here's the thing, we've seen shockers before. Sweden, who was in that final with Canada, Tokyo, that's who the Canadians beat to win Olympic gold. And England have not qualified for the Olympics. So you wonder if Australia's like, wait a second, for even confidence purposes and getting our legs under us, let's see a better outing here tonight. So Canadians have to be aware of that. Well, the next generation of soccer players will be looking to hear their name called on Thursday, December 14th in the CPL U Sports Draft. It begins at 1 p.m. ET, presented by Degree, and it'll be right here on One Soccer. Midfielder Jesse Fleming giving love to Sinclair.
I think for most of us, it's been the greatest honor of our careers to share a pitch with that generation of players. And yeah, I just don't really think there's like words to do them justice. They've changed this program. I think they've inspired so many young players in this country, and young players who are on this team now who still idolize them. So it's going to be a really hard goodbye, but I mean, to say that they left the program better than they found it is just the biggest understatement. So yeah, they mean so much to our team. So yeah, it's going to be a tough goodbye.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see us with a $10 million valuation.
In 5 years, doing this full time.
I see myself with her.
I see myself with her.
I'll be playing for Canada.
We'll be doing this, but in Japan.
In 5 years? Where won't I be in 5 years?
How do you go from the best to the ultimate without breaking the bank? You choose the big, bold, ultimate taste of ultimate chicken sausages and hot dogs. Choose ultimate taste and value, only from Maple Lodge Farms.
All good things must come to an end. We've all heard that saying, but until it hits close to home, we never really feel that saying. Christine Sinclair has been oh so good for Canada, and her time representing the Maple Leaf has come to an end. There's a generation of Canadians who only know this sport with Sinclair in it. Many started playing because of her. She was a sweet 16-year-old when she made her senior team debut. Now 40, where did the time go? For Sinclair, the time went into inspiring a nation. 2012 London Olympics, the hat trick against the Americans in the semifinals. The eyes. She wrapped everyone with her passion through those eyes. One Olympic bronze followed by another. Sinclair said what was on every Canadian's mind. The medal should have been a different color. That became the mantra heading into the Tokyo Olympics. Change the color. And that they did. Sinclair scored the opening goal of the tournament for her team and then watched the next generation step up to the penalty spot in the final game and change the color. Christine Sinclair, Olympic champion. Christine Sinclair, all-time leading international goal scorer. Time well spent by Christine Sinclair. The World Cup dream will be a bit of a sore spot, the one trophy that got away. But this isn't the time for what could have been. It's time for what did happen. Christine Sinclair lifted her teammates. She lifted her country. She's the reason you see the number 12 on the backs of young players on soccer pitches across the nation. Captain, our captain, thank you for all the good times.
Yes, we are at the finish line for Christine Sinclair, playing in her final game for country, as we welcome back Oliver Platt, who's taking in the game live. But that doesn't mean we're not going to look ahead here, Ollie. In fact, we're almost forced to look ahead a little bit because Christine Sinclair will no longer be with the program. Here's the thing. She's got a lot of goals. She has 190 goals. Nichelle Prince right now has 16 goals for country here. So I am curious to know, do you think Nichelle Prince will at some point surpass Christine Sinclair?
Well, not in terms of the goals, in terms of goals for Canada. She's got a bit of catching up to do there, it's fair to say. But in terms of being Canada's number 9, yeah, I think she's making a great case. I happened to be looking at her player profile earlier today, and she has some interesting favorite players that she lists. One is Sinclair, okay, that's pretty obvious. One's Leo Messi, again, pretty obvious. But then the third one was Carlos Tevez. And that kind of struck a chord with me on, based on Prince's performance in Victoria in the first game of this series. She was running all day, she was aggressive, she was a real nuisance. I think Jess used the words tenacious, which I think is perfect. And I really like that about her game. I think she does a great job of leading the press as well as providing that quality and goal-scoring touch. So she's been excellent as a number 9, and I think we're going to continue to see her take that spot for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, Jess, how are you feeling about that?
I think we will see her name on the goal sheet very often, but to be honest with you, I think we're seeing a new Canada. I think we're going to see a lot of names on that goal sheet. I don't think Canada will be looking to one player anymore to be scoring that goal to be the next Christine Sinclair. I think we're going to see people like Leon, or even Heidema. Heidema's been having some, making a good case for herself recently also. Lacasse. There's just so many players that are talented that I think will get on the score sheet more often now with this new formation and everything. So do I think she is the best number 9 option right now? Absolutely. Do I think she will be the one that they look to score goals all the time? No.
Food for thought. Nichelle Prince, have 3 multi-goal games, the third one coming on Friday. But she did have a great 2021, 13 goals in 16 games. And then in 2022, she scored 10 goals in 15 games. Lost a lot of time, obviously, this year. Not really healthy with her Achilles injury. So when you look at her goals per game, in some ways, she is picking up steam, hence why we asked the question. What is the ceiling, though, Ollie, as I come to you now and we look into the midfield, for Simi Awujo? Is she playing her way into the starting 11 or maybe even just the roster for the 2024 Olympics?
Yeah, certainly the roster and starting 11 maybe. It's the lightest position on the field for Canada right now. I don't think there's much argument about that. I think that's part of the reason why they're playing this system, is it only requires 2 central midfielders. It's not an area where they have a ton of depth. What I will say is in that first game in Victoria, it did require a lot of defensive work of Jessie Fleming, more than we're used to, as a result of Awujo being, a more aggressively minded player, a more attack-minded player, and also just being young and a bit inexperienced as well. So I think in games, against top opponents, we're probably still more likely to see Quinn, just because of the defensive presence they provide and the experience they have. But Awujo is really talented, and she's playing in what is a bit of a position of not weakness, but maybe not depth for Canada right now, which does, I think, give her a chance of maybe seeing some significant minutes at the Olympics next year.
Yeah, and Jordan, you brought that up on Friday, where you do see Simi Awujo maybe more when Bev is playing that attacking role. Tonight, no surprise, we see Quinn maybe wants to be a little bit more defensive given Australia's lineup.
Yeah, Awujo, she's talented. She goes forward very well, but I think what needs to be her niche moving forward in camp and when she plays matches is just being a bit more of a nuisance. Running around, tackling, getting those loose balls, taking care of it. Because for me, I think partnerships and just the chemistry between midfielders, Fleming's going to be the one getting the ball. Fleming's going to be the one creating. You have to get her the ball. You have to be able to find your way on the game sheet. And maybe that's not starting. Maybe Quinn plays, but you need to be a player that comes on and adds something to the team. A lot of midfielders, Fleming, Grosso, they're great at going forward. Find a way in Awujo right now to do the dirty work, the stuff that players don't like to do, right? Headers, tackles, all of that. Because that one part of her game, which is going forward, is already mint. I think it's just finding the other areas where she can defend and go forward and kind of just benefit the team that way.
She's strong. Once she can figure out that 5'9" frame,
yeah.
Even more so, she can be dangerous. So she's 20 years of age, from another 20-year-old to another one. in Jade Rose, who we saw get some call-ups, a couple years ago, Ollie. We know Jade Rose made her senior appearance at the 2021 She Believes Cup, had an injury, was not at the 2023 World Cup. But what do you make of her rapid rise as well on this national team?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I just think she's got a great combination of qualities. Like, she's such an intelligent player. She's playing in a role that is quite tactically demanding. They play a back three in possession and then a back four out of possession, and she's the one who kind of has to switch between being a centre back and being a fullback. That's a job that often is reserved, for much more experienced players, but she looks like a natural doing it. But even if you throw out all the tactical stuff and the intelligence, I think, of her game, she's just a really talented young player as well, wherever you put her on the pitch. A great athlete, really positive on the ball, tries to play forwards and tries to find the players in front of her, which I love. And really intelligent and reads the game well, like I said before as well. So I just think there's a great mix of qualities there. We'll see what kind of clubs are looking at her when she comes out of college, but I'd be very surprised if straight out of Harvard she's not either starting in the NWSL or going to one of the big clubs in Europe, because I think she's as good a prospect as Canada has had probably since Jessie Fleming.
And what's fantastic is last year when they actually had those friendlies against Australia, she looked right at home defending Sam Kerr.
Oh, she did. And also just turning as well and giving the assist to Leon, I believe it was, as well. And then that. Look, Jade Rose is athletic, but she's comfortable when she defends. And I think as a defender, that is a #1 thing. Coaches want to be able to say, look, you can't get by our defender. That is Jade Rose. She's athletic, she's strong. Yes, she plays the ball forward, but that's what I love the most about her, is that go beat her. Go see if you can beat her. I almost feel confident. And maybe 1 out of 10 you might get the better of her, but those 9 times out of 10, she's strong, she dictates the play, and Canada needs a defender like that who is just so consistent. It's beautiful to see.
Strong, 5'7". Notice how I keep saying heights, because I wish I was that
I thought
tall.
you were 5'6".
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody. Ollie, last word goes to you when it comes to atmosphere inside Christine Sinclair Place. We're hearing about 47,000 tickets or so have been sold. What's it feeling like so far in there?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that I have a microphone and I don't need to yell because it's really loud in here, and I'm kind of trying to shout over a crowd. I just want to see a goal for Sinclair. I think it'll be an unbelievable moment for this crowd if she can get on the score sheet. I think they've been maybe working on some set pieces that might end up at her feet or on her head, so maybe watch out for that. But yeah, well, hopefully not literally, but the roof will come off this place if she can get on the score sheet tonight.
Oh, watch out. You got a little truck behind you there that's watering the grass. We're going to get you out of the way so you stay nice and safe. But enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the game. And yeah, wouldn't that be special if Christine Sinclair got a goal and that place just absolutely erupted? There she is, Christine Sinclair. She will be honored alongside Sophie Schmidt and Erin McLeod before tonight's match, but we are getting oh so close. Oh, I love that, switching the jerseys. Ultimate respect these teammates have for one another. Stay with us here on One Soccer.
Canada's women's national team on One Soccer is brought to you by the Toyota Corolla family.
Toyota's electrified vehicles are for everyone. Every chauffeur, snack connoisseur, every scenery soaker, practical joker, every road tripper, toe dipper, every 9-to-5er, every long driver. Starting over 20 years ago with the Prius, we now have the largest lineup of electrified vehicles in Canada, because this journey belongs to everyone.
One day, we won't have to work 2 jobs.
One day, we won't have to be players on the field and activists off of it.
One day, I'll see them and know I can be them.
One day, more sponsors will compete to join our roster.
One day, we won't have to leave Canada to play professionally.
But all of these one days are on the line. The future
of women's soccer
is on the line.
If you don't support us today.
Sentinel Storage, proudly supporting Canada Soccer's women's national team. Thank you, Christine.
Gatorade.
with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
I do this for my town, my time, my time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
CanadaSoccerStore.com is the official home for the widest range of Canada Soccer licensed product, match jerseys, and fanwear.
It's been more than a decade since Canada's women's national team burst onto the scene at the 2012 London Olympics, claiming a historic bronze medal following a thrilling semi-final battle with the Americans, in which Christine Sinclair netted a famous hat trick. In leading Canada to a surprise medal at the tournament, Sinclair also claimed Golden Boot honors at the London Games, scoring 6 times in 6 games before an eventual extra time win over France. And many of the teammates from that legendary 2012 roster are going to be on hand tonight to honor number 12. Do you know who scored that goal against France to win bronze? Diana Matheson. She will be there in attendance as well, alongside our Carmelina Moscato was part of that team. So it's going to be really special as we're getting set here. And it's really starting to hit home a little bit that come next year, when this team competes in the Gold Cup, when this team competes in some more friendlies as they prepare for Paris, Sinclair's not going to be there anymore. It is going to be weird. How do you want to see her go out tonight? What do you want to see?
You know what? I heard her say as well, this is probably the only game that she's ever played in where she has no pressure. She could actually go and enjoy her football. I want to see that tonight. Little smiles, you lose the ball, you wave your hand to your teammates and just basically say, hey, go work for me a little bit. Let her go enjoy it. I think she's scoring tonight. And the reason why I say that is because Christine Sinclair, time and time again for Canada, shows up. Yeah. You talked about 2012. Again, yeah, I know they didn't win that game, but in terms of asking a player to do the absolute most, that's what she did. That's what she does. So I don't expect anything different tonight.
Yeah, I'm going, she's scoring tonight as well. I think she's going to score the winning goal. I think it's going to be like a 2-1, and she's going to score that winning goal. And, you know, the crowd is going to erupt. It's just going to be a great moment.
The clouds will separate.
The clouds will open up.
I'm on fire today.
Crowds and clouds. Love it.
We are so excited for this. But you know what? It's one of those games, too, where, yes, the Canadians, and we heard Bev Priestman say it, right? They're still preparing. They still want to go out. They want to get a result. We know the Australians want to do the same. But if there's ever a moment where you're going to allow someone to cherry pick, if there's ever a moment where you might have a clear shot on goal, you're still passing it to her because you want her to be able to get a goal on her final night. This one's going to get started with a ceremony honoring Christine Sinclair alongside her teammates Sophie Schmidt and Erin McLeod. You're going to see a lot of those signs in the crowd. It's a night of celebration. It's a night to say thank you because, yes, a lot of memories. That's what Christine Sinclair has given us. So thank you, Sinky. Enjoy your final game. And to everyone at home, enjoy it right here on One Soccer. Celebrations and kickoff are coming up next on Matchday Live on One Soccer.
Allstate and its 900 agents proudly support Canadian soccer at every level. Visit allstate.ca.
From the edge of your seat or up on your feet, let them hear you cheer.
How do you go from the best to the ultimate without breaking the bank? You choose the big, bold, ultimate taste of ultimate chicken sausages and hot dogs. Choose ultimate taste and value, only from Maple Lodge Farms.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see us with a $10 million valuation.
In 5 years, doing this full time.
I see myself with her.
I see myself with her. I'll be playing for Canada.
We'll be doing this, but in Japan.
In 5 years? Where won't I be in 5 years?
This match is brought to you by CIBC, Canada Soccer's lead partner.
Well, a very pleasant good evening and the warmest of welcomes to Christine Sinclair Place here in downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, right off of Pacific Boulevard, where the signage across town, across the country is lit up red, white, and with the number 12. Tonight, Christine Sinclair will take her final bows, a curtain call on an untouchable career. Alongside her teammates Sophie Schmidt and Erin McLeod will be honored for their final matches with the program, at least between the lines. It is an estimated capacity crowd of over 47,000 people here in Vancouver, and countless more tuning in across the country and across the world as this game bids farewell to the greatest goal scorer of all time. Christine Sinclair will lead out her side one more time, and we will have 15 minutes of thoroughly deserved honors speeches and presentations with special guests like Katrina LeMay-Doan, a certain Canadian great of her own right. As the three to be honored await in the tunnel, we will turn things over to the public address announcer here at Christine Place. It is France Perra. We will join you shortly after the national anthems in about 15 minutes' time. Enjoy the pictures, Canada. Enjoy the pictures, football.
Tonight we honor three players as we celebrate the incredible legacy that has been built for women's soccer in Canada. To form the ceremonial honor guard, please join us in welcoming members of the London 2012 Olympic bronze medalist women's national team. Erin McLeod leaves international soccer as Canada's all-team leader with 119 goalkeeper appearances across 21 seasons. Widely recognized as one of the top international goalkeepers of her era, McLeod represented Canada at 3 Olympic Games and 4 FIFA World Cups. Please welcome Erin McLeod. Sophie Schmidt leaves international soccer ranked second all-time with 225 appearances for Canada across 19 seasons. A dynamic midfielder, Schmidt represented Canada at 4 Olympic Games and 5 FIFA World Cups, where she put in some of the most memorable performances in a Canada shirt, noted for always rising to the biggest occasions. Please welcome Sophie Schmidt. Captain Christine Sinclair leaves international football as Canada's all-time leader in appearances and the world's all-time leader in career goals. Sinclair is a 14-time Canada Soccer Player of the Year, award winner, and represented Canada at 4 Olympic Games and 6 FIFA World Cups across a remarkable career. An officer in the Order of Canada, Sinclair has served as Canada's inspirational captain since 2006. Truly the GOAT and one of Canada's all-time greatest athletes, she leaves a legacy that will be felt for generations to come. Please welcome number 12, Christine Sinclair! On hand to join us in honoring 2 legends of the game, please welcome Canada Soccer President and General Secretary Charmaine Crooks and Jason DeVos, who will now present custom-framed jerseys to Erin McLeod and Sophie Schmidt in recognition of their contribution to the sport of soccer in Canada. And now, double médaille d'or olympique et quintuple championne du monde, 2-time Olympic gold medalist and 5-time world champion. Please welcome one of Canada's most highly decorated athletes. Veuillez accueillir, please welcome Katrina LeMay-Doan.
Well, good evening, everyone. What a great celebration, and this is absolutely incredible. How emotional for everybody in Christine Sinclair Place. How incredible is this? Ça me fait vraiment plaisir de faire partie de cette célébration ce soir. Christine, in 2012, you were named flag bearer for the closing ceremony, and I was interviewing Christine. And she said, "This is such an honor, but I wish my team was walking out with me." It has always been about the team, and Christine has never made it about herself. We are here to celebrate you and your team this evening. After that interview, we walked out, and you turned to me and you said some of the most powerful words I've ever heard. And you told me that I was a part of your journey in sport. Well, we're here to celebrate how you have made an impact on so many people's journey in sport, not just in this nation, but around the world. You are a champion on and off the field. Vous êtes championne, pas seulement sur le terrain, mais aussi dans toute ta vie. As fellow Olympians, we know what it takes to get to the top, and you have done it with class, and you've done it with humility. Nelson Mandela said, "Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to speak to youth in a language they understand." Christine, you've changed the world. You've broken down barriers, and you've spoken to youth, not just youth, but you've spoken to people of all ages. As a mom of 2 teenagers, I say thank you for inspiring the youth. As a leader and a female leader, I say thank you for inspiring myself and all those who want to lead through success and struggles. And as a Canadian, I say thank you for wearing the red and white, the maple leaf representing the greatest country in the world. Félicitations, Christine. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished. Merci. We are all going to miss you wearing the red and white, but we thank you. As Canadians, we thank you for what you've done. You are truly a national treasure.
Dear Christine.
Chère Christine.
Dear Christine. This is the letter we wish we never had to write. But you told us that you were hanging up your boots.
And so here we are, to say thank you.
Where do we begin?
How about in 2002?
When the country fell in love with you for the first time.
How about in 2003? When you arrived at your first World Cup. And even there, you kept scoring goals.
Just like you always used to do as a kid back in Burnaby.
And then there's 2012.
When you led us to London. And then led this team to a special place in our sporting history.
It's a hat-trick for Christine Sinclair!
Or how about 2020, when you took your place as the greatest goal scorer of all time?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And of course, there's 2021.
When we finally got to see you stand on top of the world.
Canada gold!
No one deserved that moment more than you.
So as we get ready to say the goodbye we wish we never had to face, there are a few things we wanted you to know.
That because of you,
we all stand a little taller and a little closer together than we ever did before. That because of you,
we know that no dream should ever sound too crazy to any young Canadian.
That because of you,
we can call ourselves
world champions.
In this game where they used to say we didn't belong.
So on behalf of all of us,
thank you, Christine.
Merci, Christine.
Heichka, Christine.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you, Christine.
The greatest of all time, number 12, Christine Sinclair.
national anthem of Australia. Fans, as we celebrate legends of the game, we invite you to remain standing, raise your Canada colors, and join us in singing "O Canada." Please welcome graduate from the Sarah McLachlan School of Music, Nirvana Bundy.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see the lies, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for
Hardly a dry eye of the 47,000 in the house tonight. Christine Sinclair, she has made a career with a legacy of so many things, but one of those things has been able to flip the switch into game mode. We're about to see perhaps her toughest job of doing just that after a beautiful and touching tribute to who many rightfully claim, in this announcer's humble opinion, the greatest international goal scorer of all time, and certainly a family woman as well, never too far removed from her nieces who were there to honor her aunt as much as a country and a sport honor a legend. It is Canada and it is Australia, just a few days removed from an international friendly at Starlight Stadium on Vancouver Island. It was the 20th ever meeting between these sides, and Canada handled a beating for Australia, let's be honest. It was a young group from Tony Gustafsson. More on that.